What's up, ladies and gentlemen out there in internet land? I am Bob Feckety here with IGN, and right alongside me I have...
Adam Overton. I'm the executive producer at Uber Entertainment for the game Planetary Annihilation.
Awesome. So you got a new build here, some new stuff to show off?
Absolutely.
So let's take a peek.
Okay, we got two things we're going to show you. It's the Planetary Annihilation real-time strategy game itself. Takes everything to the next level, and then we're also going to show you the upcoming sneak peek of Galactic War, available May 22nd. So we'll just go ahead and get right into it. What I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to load up a system to play on. We've got one that was prepared that I think will be primo entertaining, and I'm going to add an AI to play against. So we'll just put that on the normal level. You can use this game lobby to create a game for up to 10 people at one time. It can be a mix of people or AIs to play against, whatever you want to do. And you can actually use a team mode to make it like 2v2v2 or 3v3v3 or whatever you want to do.
Awesome.
So that's how that works, and we're going to just get the game started right away. Now, one of the first things you'll notice as the game starts up is that this isn't like your regular square map real-time strategy game from yesteryear. This is a next-generation real-time strategy game. You play on a planet. And
awesome.
You actually play on a planet out in space, and in the background you can see there are other planets. It turns out you can zoom out, travel out to other planets. Here's we've got an ice planet as well. Or, in this particular system, there's a moon planet, which is its own kind of meteor. And ultimately, you can use that planet because it has slots for engines to annihilate another planet. So we're going to get right to it. I'm going to go ahead and spawn here. Those green dots are metal points because metal is one of the two important resources in our game. You almost always start out by building some metal extractors, some energy plants, and then in this case I'm going to go ahead and build a air factory. I'm just queuing up a series of commands. I don't have the money to pay for that right now, but based on our streaming economy, it allows you to plan out things you can't afford yet because you generate metal per second and energies per second, and then the fabrication process that my commander and everything that builds stuff in the game uses just dips into that stream of income and builds whatever it can as fast as the capability of the unit has, combined with the availability of resources. If for some reason you start to run out of metal or energy, everything that's building just slows down a little bit to accommodate that, and we keep track of that with this efficiency number here up at the top.
Awesome.
So the commander is now fabricating this air factory. Even though it's not built yet, I'm going to go ahead and queue up the production of a scout, which we can use to explore the planet. And that allows us to get a view of what our opponents are doing. And I'll also queue up a couple fabrication aircraft as well. That commander can actually help the building process to get that guy to come out faster. And then we can use this guy and say, hey, guy, just go and explore. I can explore a point. I can explore a big area. I can explore the whole planet. That's what I want him to do. But I can't keep track of that completely on my own here. So what I need to do is bring up our picture-in-picture and just press a button. Oops, I got to put the mouse cursor over that. I'm going to press a button over that, and then I'll track that unit in the picture-in-picture. This picture-in-picture window is something I can just click around in and use as a regular window. It's just exactly the same. It's another view. So now that I've got that, I'm going to take a couple of these fabrication guys and again use our advanced command and control features to just say, I want to area build all the metal extractors in this area. I don't have to click on them one by one. Again, when you're going to make a game where it has tons of units and tons of scale, you really want to have great, simple, yet powerful tools to control your armies
do mass
and make everything happen. So because we've only got limited time, I'm going to go ahead and get a little help from our avatar buddy. Not normally in this part of the game, but he gives us tons of economy and the ability to produce things quickly. And I'll show you things like a very normal thing for you to do would be to say, I don't want one factory, I want a whole bunch of factories. So I'm just going to go ahead and queue those up to be built. Obviously that guy builds very quickly. And then I'll take all these factories and, oops, I'll just select them all. Oops, get all those factories, these two as well. I'm going to tell them, hey, keep building continuously. And like the bot factories, you should build like anti-air and some like these healer guys and some grenadiers. And the tank factories, go ahead and build this Inferno and some of these guys. And when they all come out, just come down over here and we'll do stuff. Another thing that we've got is I'm going to go ahead and take the avatar and I'm going to build an orbital launcher because a lot of this game is about doing things like going into space. So we can build the orbital launcher and then I'm going to bring my commander over closer, but in the meantime, I will build a transport unit, and that will allow us to travel to other planets, because
that's the name of the game.
That's the name of the game, is moving around in the solar system. So somewhere out there is a enemy commander. Like, I know my guy found him because the AI robot voice told me. So he's over here somewhere, not that far from my base, but we've got a big set of units building right now to help out. And here's my transport coming online. I'm going to go ahead and pick up the commander, use him to travel to another planet, because that's a normal thing to do. Get over there, and there's resources on the other planet. So let me just take a grab here, zoom out, switch over to the other planet, and send him over and have him land. So now that I've got that, I'm actually using some of our keyboard shortcuts that I can set a camera location and just switch back and forth, so I've got control of that. I'm going to take this big army. Like, I haven't been doing anything. I just told all these units to build army for me, and sure enough, I come back a couple minutes later, and there's a big army. I don't have to manage that. I don't have to, like, come back to those buildings and press a button every time I want units. I can just take one of those right away. And I'm going to go send those over to attack a portion of the enemy base. And meanwhile, in the orbital side, I'm going to build this orbital fabricator. I'm going to tell the orbital fabricator to build some other space stuff, like a space station. So let me get that orbital fabricator. He'll build a space station, because that's kind of like the next stage of the orbital game, is to do that. I'm going to give him a little help from this this guy. Looking over at the second planet, my commander's just landed. I actually forgot to show you how he travels through space, but we'll get to that in a minute. And now that he's here, he can start the process again. He's going to build some factories, and then he's going to build an area of metal just to get the whole process started. Back over here, we can see that our army has gone ahead and moved into the enemy base. He's killing all kinds of stuff. I'm just going to see what kind of damage I can do. Flamethrowers coming out, destroying everything. Units shooting. The commander of the enemy team, of course, is fighting me, and the commander is sort of a badass fighting unit. So he actually can do a lot of damage to this army. But that's gonna get me started. Looking back at my space station, I was gonna have this guy down here help out. Let me see. He's gonna assist the this orbital fabricator, and sure enough, that gets done pretty quickly as a result. And now, some of the satellites you can build from this orbital factory include this spy satellite, which allows you to get a ton of vision over the world. If not vision, at least radar. You can see that at this edge I'm getting radar because I've just got blips, but in this space I've actually got full vision. So I'm going to move that over towards his base a little bit so I can keep track of that. Also going to have this build you a nuclear silo, because this is kind of where the game goes at the later stages. I've kind of sped everything up here just for the demonstration purposes. But now I can go ahead and build this. And you can see it starts out like semi-transparent and then quickly becomes more and more solid. That's because we want everything in this game to be kind of a what you see is what you get. And so somebody flying by who looks at my base can just see that nuclear missile, see its kind of construction state, and have a good idea of how far along it is. We don't want them to have to click on it and then look at a build progress. I mean, they can look at that and do that, but that makes it easier. So I'm just going to say, like, I don't really want him building this base over here, so I'm going to take my nuclear missile and I'm going to attack over here. Nuclear missile launched, off it goes. You know, when you see one of those things, everybody gets to see it. And so found that commander again, and the missile comes in. When you see that coming over, like, the whole world can see it, and then boom, huge explosion, wipes out the whole set of trees, sets the outer ones on fire, and that forest fire will actually spread around through the space and wipe out those trees. Eventually, it might come to a place that's a little thinner and stop. But it's that's one of the things. It's just one of those epic moments in the game when you've got a game that's this big. Now, the final thing I want to show you is I'm going to flip over to this faraway planet. By the way, meanwhile, we've gone ahead and built all of this base out over here. We could like building 10 more units. Now, I'm going to come out on this planet, and again, with the help of some friends, I'm going to build some rockets that allow me to pilot this planet around through the solar system and smash it into the main planet. So it takes 2 rockets, as you can see up here. I've created the ability Planetary Annihilation now possible. Doesn't that just feel good?
Oh, yeah.
That feels good to me. So I'm going to go
Big
ahead and
things
send that
about
off
to
to
happen.
Annihilate. I'm going to choose the main planet because I vacated it just with this moment in mind. And where's our enemy commander? There he is. I think I'm going to tell the place to go right here and just dump a planet on his head.
All right.
So there it goes. If we zoom out, we can see the orbit has changed. That planet is on a collision course. It's going to swing right around and slingshot right into the main planet to provide that epic moment. So if we take a look back here on the main planet, we can see it's going to come into view. Around the side it comes, and bam!
Boom.
Giant explosion, and a huge crater will be left here. And we left a huge crater here, and unfortunately it does kill our units on the planet, leaves a huge crater. The enemy is annihilated and allows us to win the game.
Very nice.
So that is our summary of the base game of Planetary Annihilation. Obviously, normally this planet might just be swarming with units by the time you get to this stage of the game, but we did move it along. So that is that's the stage 1. The next thing I want to show you, I'm going to switch modes. These are dev builds that I just pulled off my machine before I left. So this is our sneak peek of the Galactic War. Now, the Galactic War is a new update to the regular game of Planetary Annihilation. People who purchase Planetary Annihilation, as it's available now on Steam or our website, they will get this automatically.
Okay.
And it's available today, May 22nd, for anybody who gets Planetary Annihilation. And this provides that repeatable single-player experience. It provides a bit of a story arc over the way you play those episodes of Planetary Annihilation. So if we go to War here, I've got a saved game that I already created that I've been playing earlier. And we're the red. We've actually started to take over quite a bit of territory. Now, the way this happens is when you're the faction leader here, and you've your robot's kind of woken up, and you realize I just don't have a lot of the capabilities I normally have.
Okay.
There's kind of 4 basic types of things you can build. You can build bots, which are fast, fragile units. You can build tanks or vehicles, which are the tankier, tougher, but slower units. You can build naval. If you've got oceans or large lakes, you can travel across those and fight with those. And you've got an air force. You've actually also got orbital, which you saw by building the transports that head between. And there are like death from above laser satellites and all kinds of things. Well, in this case, you don't have any of that advanced stuff. You don't have nukes. You don't have a lot of that advanced capability. You just start out with 3 empty slots that you can fill in and the ability to build like vehicles. And your goal is to go visit a bunch of these different systems that are, and this whole galaxy is procedurally generated, so it'll be different every time you play.
Awesome.
So you visit these systems and start collecting some of the technology you've lost. But you've got limited slots. I actually lucked out in this game and have collected like 5 additional slots and filled them with tech as I moved about. So here, for example, I've got advanced air tech, so now before I couldn't build that, and I can. Over here, I've got artillery that allows you to build like giant guns that shoot quite a long range. It's good for assaulting static defenses. And I actually have 3 of these lieutenant commanders, which is kind of a lucky combination because those are AI players that will help me whenever I invade another system. So I can use this to, I'm just going to move around here momentarily on my side of the map because I've already got control. But as you explore the galaxy, you start to see that there are systems that are controlled by other faction leaders, including over here, we've actually spotted the faction leader himself. Ultimately, your goal is to kind of, while you're weak, go around and carefully gather up the safer fights and gather up some tech to help you in battle, and then ultimately go on and take on those faction leaders and wipe them out of the galaxy and win the Galactic War.
All right. Well, this all looks really great. I love the art style and the fact that, if you zoom in all the way, you still, you have some great graphics. Zoom out all the way, you still also have some great graphics. It's looking really great. Coming along, I read you're in the gamma state of release right now.
That's right. We had done an alpha, and at the alpha stage, it was a pretty fragile, limited capabilities, but we had our Kickstarter backers who were super grateful for helping us fund the game, and then people who joined us at that point also paid the same thing that the Kickstarter backers paid, and they, a lot of that is about helping get the game started. As we moved into beta, we made huge leaps forward in capability, But at the gamma stage, what happened is we said, wow, we've really put a lot of new functionality. It's a very playable game at this stage. It doesn't have all the things we want to have it to move out of that early access phase, but we felt like we'd reached a stage where it's really important to kind of a signal to the world that this game is a much more playable game. And with the Galactic War, we've taken it up another level, and that's why we've scheduled this release and kind of put this fanfare around it.
Awesome. Well, game is looking great so far, and you can play it now on Steam if you so choose, or the Uber Entertainment website. You can get it from there as well. So thanks so much for coming in and showing off all of the new features that you got going.
Yeah, thanks for having us in here, and I hope you have a great time annihilating planets.
All right. For everything else Planetary Annihilation, keep it locked right here at IGN.